Welcome into the NFL Every Game on the Board podcast with our first guest up, my friend Hakeem Prophet on Twitter at Skee Prophet. Skee, welcome in, buddy. How you feeling?
I'm good, except for I just looked over and I forgot I didn't have a water bottle, but it's cool. I'm ready to break the games down with you and try to find some money on the card.
All right, Skee. Well, if you want, we can break down a game and then I can introduce the other game, give my opinion while you go run and get it, man. Feel free to do that. It's still good content if you want, bro.
It's all good.
All right, man. Let's get after it. Thursday nighter here. We got Arizona and Seattle. We're seeing the Seahawks -3 at home, 57.5 being the total here. Skee, Thursday nighter, a lot of tickets written on it, man. What are you thinking here? NFL Thursday night football.
Well, first off, I think that a lot of these totals I looked at them, the ones over 55, a lot of them have went under. Like I think 5 of them have went over and 10 of them have went under. So initially, I don't want to back the over, but it's still the only way I can look because the Seahawks defense is really bad. I can see Kyler Murray throwing all over it. And I also think that Russell is going to have a good offensive day versus the Cardinals. He won't have the Rams D-line coming after him. So I think he'll also have success. So I still look towards the over. And we've never seen Russell Wilson lose 3 straight, I don't think.
Yeah. So, off of a loss, he's been great. He's been money, man.
Yeah, so that's in jeopardy. The Cardinals, they've won. They've 3-0 straight up as a dog this year, I believe, and I think they can make it 4 here.
Yeah, you bring up Russell Wilson. What is it? It's something crazy. He's like 38-9 off of a loss, so that makes sense that he's never lost 3 in a row. I didn't realize that, and yeah, they've lost 2 straight. Plus the fact, Arizona short week on the road and the way that they won, Skee, off of that Hail Mary, you got to think this is a tough turnaround. I mean, spot-wise, it really favors the Seahawks, no?
Yeah, I agree. And I'm not running to the window to back the Cardinals. It's just if you're giving me points with the team that I think that's looked better, that's just the way I tend to lean. And usually on Thursdays, you think home team or no team, at least over the past few years, hasn't necessarily been the case this year. So that's just a lean. It's not a way I feel extremely strong about right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, home teams on the Thursday nighter here in the NFL actually haven't been that great this year. Now, if you go back, longer term, it was definitely a look towards that. What about Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson here, the quarterbacks? Do you think Kyler Murray's kind of reeling them in terms of, kind of power ranking quarterbacks in the NFL? Any opinion on that?
I still think Russ is definitely much higher than Kyler Murray. He's really good, though. I'm high on Kyler Murray. I drafted him on my team. It's just I think Russ is really, really elite. It's just his team is not that great around him, in my opinion.
Okay, makes a lot of sense there on the Thursday nighter. We got the Sunday card coming up next. And guys, this is the section number 1 of the NFL Every Game on the Board podcast, wherever you're downloading your podcast at, Sports Memo Podcast, simulcast on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. If you're liking the content, please give us a thumbs up. And if you're watching on replay, feel free to drop a line in the comments below. Let us know what you're betting on. And we got 4-5-1. 4-5-2 here. Skee, Philadelphia at Cleveland. We're seeing the Browns -3 or -3 in the hook. Some people refer to it as 3.25 here. 47 being the total here.
Yeah, and I said it, I think last time I talked to you, Drew, I don't trust Carson Wentz.
No, me neither.
It's hard for me to even think about backing the Eagles just because I know he'll probably make a mistake or two trying to be the hero. I mean, the team around him is not great either. I'm not by all means putting all the blame on him. I'm just saying I don't trust him either. And Eagles' run defense isn't good. And once again, you have Chubb and Hunt. I could just see them running all over the Eagles. So I'll lean towards the Browns in this one. I won't make it too long.
Okay, and we got Ryan S., Johnny Outlaw, Dan, Spurman, all you guys, welcome in. If you're watching live, feel free to drop whatever you'd like, what you're looking to bet in the chat box. You bring up Carson Wentz, Skee, and I'll tell you, I kind of got roasted on it last season because there's a lot of Philadelphia Eagles fans out there. And I remember I was talking with Teddy Covers on the NFL Opening Line Report, and I brought up the fact I think he's kind of overrated. I think he was drafted a little bit too high. He's paid a little bit too much. And people were roasting me in the chat box. And I'm like, oh, man, all right, I'll back off on that. And now that it's kind of coming to fruition and, that train's getting a lot bigger on Carson Wentz. Now, I'm not saying he's the worst quarterback in the NFL because he's definitely not. And his team, like you talked about, isn't that great this year. I mean, not that there is a lot of great teams in the NFC East, but I think that people kind of see him throw the ball. And, he throws a pretty football. It looks good. He's got the arm strength in a tight spiral. And I think people think like, oh, that's really good. And I think it actually works against him because the touch on some of his passes and the accuracy isn't always there. And I don't think enough people kind of factor that part of being a quarterback in as much as they should, Skee.
Hey, well, Drew, you probably know a little bit more than me. I know you played football, but I just know from looking at him in the first year compared to looking at him now, I see a much different quarterback. And I just call it like I see it. He looked good in that first year. He doesn't look good this year. So
yeah, and that's also a thing. If you're not getting better, in college and pro, then that's usually not a good sign. Plus the fact, Nick Foles came in and they won the Super Bowl, so it's not like they absolutely needed him. But I don't know. I guess I'll probably get roasted again on that, especially if
there's a good friend of ours that he'll have something good to say about Carson Wentz every week. You already know.
Oh yeah, I'm not picking up what you're laying down. I don't know.
Sorry.
All right, man. We got Atlanta at New Orleans up next. Talk about divisional rivalries here. This is a big one. We got 50.5 being the total. Looks like the Saints -5 home favorites in the Big Easy, Skee.
And who's going to be quarterback? Is it going to be Winston, or are they actually going to give the guy they're paying $21 million a chance, or? Like, what are they paying him all that money for? I don't know, but I don't trust. I don't trust Winston regardless. I mean, it's the guy who threw 30 picks last year. A lot of people say good things about him, but I'm just not a believer. I don't trust him. Maybe, the team is good enough around him for him to succeed right here in New Orleans. But ever since Atlanta fired Dan Quinn, they look like a new team. They're 3-1 straight up. They're getting stops on third down. They're 7-1 against the spread their last 8. They're off of a bye, I think, right? I have to look towards the Falcons. I'm definitely not running to put my money behind crab legs Winston.
Crab legs Winston. Oh man, I don't know. In Publix down there in Florida, being a college kid, I don't really actually blame him for that. But the interceptions, like you talk about. He won the national championship in college, comes out and he was, under 500 here in the NFL as a quarterback. But the arm strength is there, Skee. And one thing that I think with New Orleans is if he's taking snaps and breezes out, Winston works to be the over quarterback. I think there's actually value here on the New Orleans Saints' overs because he's going to take more shots down the field. It's maybe not good for the team winning, but what it does do is it's either a turnover, which isn't always bad for betting overs, especially if you're throwing picks in your own, towards your own end zone. And if you do hit them, there's going to be big plays. So that's what I would look for in terms of as a sports bettor finding change. I think we get that here at the quarterback position, maybe looking to bet the Saints overs. I don't know if you have an opinion on that.
I would agree with the over in this game. I think the Saints run defense is pretty solid. And the Falcons aren't looking to run the ball anyway. They're going to pass the ball. And if they can take advantage of the Saints secondary, and like you said, either Winston can take advantage. Everybody's taking advantage of Atlanta's secondary. But maybe he throws picks and helps it out either way. I'll lean towards the over as well.
Okay. And he's Skee Profit on Twitter at Skee Profit. Check out his work. WagerTalk.com, both NFL and NBA, also WNBA as well. We got Detroit at Carolina up next. I'm seeing a limited marketplace here, Skee. Not sure if you have any quick thoughts on the Lions and Panthers.
Yeah, I definitely don't have a lot to say. I don't really have a strong opinion at all. I could skip past this one, but I think one team has been really good in the red zone, and one quarterback I think has been looking better than the other, and I think that's the Panthers. Panthers been good in the red zone. Teddy Bridgewater's been solid. Stafford, I'm not sure if Galladay's in, but I know they haven't been good in the red zone, and they haven't been good on third down. So I just would probably trust the Panthers.
Okay, good stuff, Skee. We got 457, 458. New England at Houston up next. We're seeing the Patriots now a favorite, Skee. -2, -1.5, depending where you're shopping. 48.5 being the total. I like the Pats, man. Not sure how you feel about this one.
Yeah, and I agree with the line move. I agree with you. It lines up pretty perfect here. It's a team that can't take advantage of. Houston can't exploit New England's weakness. They can't run the ball. New England's defense is bad against the run, but their pass defense is it's okay. And they can't stop the run. And all New England wants to do is run the ball. So we've seen back-to-back weeks also with Cam not turning the ball over. If they could just continue to run the ball and not turn the ball over, I trust Bill Belichick to get it done again. We've seen the Texans give up, I think, 200-plus yards 3 times this year. They're 2-7 against the spread their last 9 games. They're allowing 5.2 yards per carry. So that's all New England wants to do. I'm expecting New England to run all over them. So I like New England.
Yeah, I like New England as well, man. I mean, Houston's had their trouble this year. And New England, you talk about the defense, and I know that was kind of weather induced here against the Ravens, but they looked a lot better against the former NFL MVP just this past week against the New York Jets coming back as well. And even the week before that against the Bills, it came right down to the end, and the Bills, leading the division here until the late fumble by Cam Newton. But overall, I think, Cam Newton on the sidelines, you're seeing it. The team likes him. And he's motivated. It seems like, obviously a well-coached team with Bill Belichick. I think New England's kind of a buy low here, just -2. Hey, interesting question. We're talking about quarterbacks. In my opinion, 2 good quarterbacks in Cam Newton and Deshaun Watson. Do you have a feel here on who you'd rather have taking snaps for you this year?
I would definitely rather have Watson. He just doesn't really have anybody. I mean, his team's not good. And he's just not in a good situation. So if you put him on the Patriots, I think the Patriots would be a lot better.
Okay. I'm kind of a Cam Newton. Obviously, I'm more on his side, just being an Auburn guy. But we got Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, and I'm not saying he's better than Deshaun Watson. Just wanted to see your opinion there, Skee. We got 459-460 up next. Pittsburgh at Jacksonville, 46.5 being the total. We got the Steelers minus doubles here on the road, -10.
And that's exactly the reason I probably look to fade them. They haven't been good as a double-digit favorite. I think 4-13 against the spread. I think they play Baltimore next weekend on Thanksgiving or something like that.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the Jags. They've been pretty good. They covered their last 2. Robinson's been rushing pretty good for them. And the Steelers, ever since Devin Bush went down, run defense has not been as great. They're giving up close to 5 yards per carry. So I think Jaguars can keep it close at home, and I think it'll probably be a lower scoring game. So I'm leaning Jags. What is it, +10 now? And whatever the total is, I like it under.
Yeah, double-digit home dog here. That always kind of catches my eye. And you're right, Jacksonville covering their last 2 games against Houston and Green Bay. That was a surprising one. Against Green Bay, covering that one. We've been talking about the Packers. We got Green Bay up next at Indianapolis, -1 in the hook. That's the Colts at home, 51.5 being the total here, Skee.
And I don't know about everybody else, but I'm still not sold on the Colts being a really good team. And we'll see what their defense does. If they can stop Green Bay, hey, I'll tip my cap. But I think they benefited from a very poor special teams in Tennessee. So that's what I think. I think if Tennessee had a better special teams, they'd probably win the game. And in this one, Packers 12-0 against the spread after against the spread loss. I'm expecting it. I mean, if I'm not, like I said, I'm not a believer in the Colts defense. I think Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams is greater than the Colts defense. So I expect the Packers to score. I think they come out and even win this game.
I'm with you. I like a money line. I mean, they are catching 1 in the hook, so that's the way I would bet it as well. I think you get the better quarterback, and like you talked about, I think Indianapolis, the special teams. Also, they benefited from their schedule being kind of weak, so they're going up against one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. I think they're going to get lit up here. I think the Packers are the side on the road. So he's Skee Profit on Twitter at Skee Profit. He's got his packages up here. NFL, we got the NBA not too far away. Check them out, sportsmemo.com. Last 25 in the NFL, hitting near 60%. So seeing it well in professional football. Check them out, WagerTalk.com. 3-day, 7-day, 30-day packages all available there. Skee, do you have kind of like a most confident play, or even like a free bet on the NBA draft tonight? Like anything you think the listeners maybe should, if they're looking to get some money down, anything you would point them towards?
Well, my opinion is I think Edwards goes first, Wiseman goes second, and LaMelo goes third. So take it for what it's worth. If you like it, go for it. As far as the NFL, I have a best bet on one of these games. So I'll give another one that I'm pretty close to taking, and that's going to be the Jaguars. I think that's a big number for the Steelers to cover on the road. So I like the Jaguars plus 10.
Hey, Skee, last question here. You bring up Edwards. What about guys that, didn't have really good college basketball teams, like making, a run in March Madness or even making the tournament? Does that worry you at all, picking those guys because they weren't able to bring their team like to the top here? Or no, you don't think it matters? It's all about just raw talent.
I believe in raw talent, and I'm also just big believer in fit. Whoever fits your current team. Like I think LaMelo is the best player in the draft, but Edwards is a better fit. I don't want to see LaMelo and D'Angelo Russell together, so that's kind of how I look at it.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, man. And anything else you want to throw out before we shut this down?
I got to get out of here. It's been great rocking with you again, and thank you everybody for watching. And we'll do it again next week. Let's make some money.
All right, Skee's got a video with Kelly in Vegas up next, so check that out on the WagerTalk YouTube channel, and I'll be right back with Gianni the Greek breaking down the back half of the NFL card. All right, thanks, Skee. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Best